Hello everybody and welcome back to more political chatter. In this video we will be talking about the 2024 presidential election and how there's an unprecedented amount of third-party candidates in this race and how it is truly transformational, looking towards the future for third-party candidates, because we have not seen a field of third-party candidates like this really ever. Um, as far as I could think of, we have not seen this many major third party candidates. I mean, if Joe Manchin were to get in the race, we would see the highest third party uh, vote since most likely, almost certainly, 1912, when Teddy Roosevelt ran as a progressive. So it's just transformational what we're seeing right now, and how this election is just so much different than any other election that we've covered. And we have to start realizing that. We have to start talking about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Cornel West, Joe Manchin, Jill Stein, the Libertarians, because it is just absolutely insane. And like, whatever we know about elections already, presidential elections, we have to throw out the window, because we have not had Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as an independent who's polling at 15 to 20%. We have not had Cornel West, who's polling at 5%. We have not had Jill Stein, who just announced yesterday. We have not had Joe Manchin, who's polling at 8 to 10%. We have not had Libertarians, who usually win 1, 2, or 3% of the vote. So, when you look at this field of third party candidates, this is just so much of the vote. This is like over a third of the vote we are looking at right now, possibly 35% of the vote going to third party candidates. So, this is not like any election we have seen in recent history. This is not like, it's like nothing. I mean, we have not seen this before. Even on the local level, we do not have elections like this. So people will be very happy with their choices in 2024. I can guarantee you that. There was a problem in 2020. People were unhappy with only having two choices, Trump or Biden. But now looking at 2024, say Joe Manchin were to get in, and I think he will, you've got like five major, serious contenders in this race: Trump, Biden, Manchin, Cornel West, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So I make this video as yesterday Jill Stein has jumped into the race. Now, I've been covering how many third-party candidates there are in this election, and this is just like the cherry on top, honestly, this late entry of Jill Stein into the race. If I could find it here, Cornel West was running in the Green Party primary. He was the presumptive nominee, but for whatever reason, still no one really knows, but he actually dropped out of that primary to just run as an independent. Go past the nominating process, just run as an independent instead of with the Greens. It's actually funny because even before that, he was running for the People's Party nomination. So he's been all over, but now he is an independent. Here you can see here, People's Party, Green Party, then independent. So Cornel West dropped out of that primary, and so Green Party was left with no one to run. I was thinking that they would actually endorse Cornel West for president. I mean, I'm not sure why he left the Green Party, saying that they have the literally exact same ideology. This guy's just a perennial candidate, Randy Toller. But now it's not looking like they will endorse Cornel West, because it looks like they already have their presumptive nominee, Jill Stein. Jill Stein got in 2016 1.07% of the vote, came in fourth, got almost 1.5 million votes in 2016. This is the second best ever performance by the Green Party in a presidential election. She also ran in 2012. She just took a break in 2020. So she is very much a leader, if you will, of the Green Party, and I think that she will end up as the party's nominee in 2024. So I think that we can expect to see Jill Stein on the ballot in many states as the Green Party nominee. So looking at 2024 now, we have Robert F. Kennedy Jr. running as an independent. We've already been, covered this. Cornel West, as I just mentioned, is an independent, new independent. Jill Stein is running for the Green Party nomination, and she really is sure to win it. You've got the Libertarian Party, which always takes a couple percentage points and always make a huge difference in recent elections. They will have their nominee. We're not certain on who that nominee will be yet. You've got major candidates like Chase Oliver, and Joshua Smith has been getting a lot of attention. And then you got people who are putting a lot of money in this race. Well, only one, Lars Mapstead. So it's one of those three. I think will end up as the nominee. But Jacob Hornberger has, I won't go into it because it really doesn't matter. But someone, it doesn't really matter. They always get a couple of percentage points. And then you've got Joe Manchin, and if he were to jump in this race, it would be a major. I mean, when Kennedy joined, it was a major turning point. Like, this changed up the entire race. But if Joe Manchin were to jump in, it would change the race once again because Kennedy jumped in, and we didn't see, in polls we didn't see any major decrease in Trump or Biden's numbers relative to each other. They both went down, but Kennedy wasn't hurting just one of them more than the other. At least it showed. But Manchin, on the other hand, I think that he, as a Democrat, as most no labels people being Democrats, I think that Manchin really would wreck Biden a lot more than Kennedy is right now, or Cornel West is doing right now. Because Manchin, even before, if he were to run, even before No Labels puts tens of millions of dollars into this campaign for Joe Manchin, or whoever they nominate, it's looking like it's going to be Joe Manchin because he announced his retirement from the Senate yesterday, and that really props him up to be the nominee. But even if they nominate someone like Larry Hogan, before they put these tens of $millions into the campaign, he's at 6. I'm going to disregard 2 right there. He's at 6, 10, 7, 5. So, what's this 10? Hogan, yeah, and then Larry Hogan was at 10% in this poll. So, even before the campaign, he's averaging at 7-8%. And, because of just how close these elections have been in recent history. Because, it changes everything up. Hillary won the popular vote in 2016. In 2020, Biden won it by 5. But when you look at these such critical swing states, I'll go to 2016 because it's very interesting what went on in 2016. Trump won it by just less than 0.3%. When you look at the results, Gary Johnson won 3%, and Jill Stein actually won 1% of the vote. And, if Jill Stein was not in that race, Michigan would have gone to Hillary. I'm just using Michigan because it's the clearest example. It's the most prominent example. Basically, what went on in a few states like Michigan, the margin that Trump won by was smaller than the number that Jill Stein received. So even in 2016, where third parties, where Gary Johnson and Jill Stein and all the others got a combined 4.5%, we'll estimate, of the nationwide vote, they changed the entire election. Even just Jill Stein, a few states, Michigan would have definitely gone to Hillary Clinton without Jill Stein. Wisconsin probably would have gone to Hillary Clinton without Jill Stein. Pennsylvania maybe would have gone to Hillary Clinton without Jill Stein. So, even when third parties win 5% of the vote, it shakes everything up. And now we're looking at 2024, where we have Kennedy at 15, one independent at 15, another independent at 5, Jill Stein will say at 1, Joe Manchin will say at 8, Libertarians will say at 3. It is just incredible because we don't know what will happen? We need more polling with all 7, I guess, candidate. I mean, until right now 6, because Manchin isn't in this race. But we need polls with Biden, Trump, Kennedy, West, Stein, and a libertarian to see how this race is shaking up, because we are yet to see some serious polls here. I mean, look, so many of these, Cornel West is not even polled at all. We have Biden, Trump, Cornel West was in this one, and then Kennedy. You had those 4. This was before Jill Stein was in this, but no libertarian, no green. In this New York Times Siena College poll, Biden, Trump, Kennedy, not West. These had all 4, but they are usually, I mean, these are all third party. These are all third party polls. But still, so many are missing Cornel West. And, when you look at all polls, so many aren't even including Kennedy. Like, why waste so much money on a poll, on conducting a poll, if you're not even going to include someone who's polling at like 15-20%, someone who's becoming a major candidate for the presidency, someone who's becoming someone that could honestly win the presidency as an independent. So they need to start including all these candidates so that we could get a feel on how this race is going. But I think that this race could very well go to the House of Representatives. The last time that happened, or it only happened once, it was like in 1824 or something. That'd actually be interesting. 200 years ago exactly. Wow. If it is 1824, if I'm right on that. Maybe it's 18 never mind actually. What am I talking about? Anyway, but honestly, this race could go to the House. I truly think that, because these polls are showing a very close race between Biden and Trump. You very rarely on the national level have polls going back and forth. That's when you know it's so close. Trump's leading by 3 here, he's leading by 2 here. Biden is leading by 2 here, Trump is leading by 6 here. Biden is winning by 1 here. Trump is winning by 5 here. Trump is winning by 0.4 here. So, polls are very swingy. Trump and Biden are essentially even on the popular vote level. So looking at 2024, it's going to be close if it was just between them, right? The Electoral College. So when it's close like that, the smallest amount of Electoral College votes going to someone else, going to a Kennedy, a West, a Manchin, could put both of them under 270. And if you don't know the rules, if no candidate reaches 270 Electoral College votes, the election actually gets thrown to the House of Representatives, and they decide the president, and the Senate decides the vice president. So, the smallest, if Kennedy could win Maine, if Kennedy could win New Hampshire, if he could win Alaska, in Utah, if he could win, if he could, or even if Manchin, wins Utah and Kennedy wins Maine, New Hampshire, Alaska. Manchin has a shot in West Virginia. Kennedy has a big shot in West Virginia. Cornel West has a shot in Vermont. There is definitely a possibility. It's probable that a third party candidate wins at least one state. But if you have a group of states, a few going to Kennedy, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 going to Manchin, maybe the Libertarians can win like Maine's 2nd district or something, then you've got yourself, very likely, no candidate reaching 270 electoral votes. And then that would be a election that everyone will remember, okay? Then it comes down to who wins the House of Representatives, right? Because Democrats, of course, would vote for Biden. Republicans would, of course, vote for Trump. So, definitely something to keep our eye on. I mean, that would be absolutely historic if something like that happens. And I love to talk about this stuff. It's very, very interesting. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you all later. Thanks again.